2025, I sold over $1 million worth of product on Amazon, and this is episode 4 of me scaling my business to $3 million in 2026. Before we get into the video, there's one thing I want to mention. If you haven't already signed up to my newsletter to receive the Google Sheet that we are going to be using in this series, I highly recommend you sign up. Not only will you get your free sheet, but you're going to get access to my weekly newsletter where I share a bunch of tips, tricks, strategies to help you scale your business. These are tips and things that I've learned over the years of running an OA business, and I certainly think it'll help you if you give it a read each week. All right, without further ado, let's get into this week's video. All right, so jumping into this week's progress specifically, you guys can see the stats here on screen. We bought 684 units with an ACOG of about 27 bucks, $48 ASP, and 45 unique ASINs, which is a lot better than last week's performance, which we only had 27 unique ASINs. Now, it's also good and bad. Reason why is because we obviously had to work a lot harder to get all those extra ASINs, but that's just more stuff we get to add to the catalog. You can see that ROI was about 25% with a margin of 14, estimated sales at about 33K, almost 19K in spend, and then about 4,700 in profit. And comparing these numbers to last week, profit's up a lot. Spend is relatively the same with sales. That's a little bit different though. And margin and ROI are also pretty comparable. And then moving our net profit up higher from last week, we had a total for the entire month of 11,000. Now we are sitting at about 14.4. Net margin has dropped off a bit, but if we're adding more to the bottom line, then I am totally fine sacrificing a percent. Now you guys have seen a little bit of the progress for this week. Let's go ahead and jump into the Google Sheet so you guys can see the overall progression and where we stand for January. Okay, and here on Google Sheets, we can see that we're looking at about a 28% ROI, 15.5% margin, which is great. Almost 130K in sales, 72K in spend, and then almost 20K in profit. Honestly, very happy with these numbers. I spent more this week than I did last week, so that's always a good thing. However, we are still behind on the goal of 124K in spend. As you can see, we're looking at about a 15K difference, which is roughly about 3 to 4 days. And then we're also down about $1,000 in profit from where we should be. So the margin being boosted up as compared to like 13% is definitely helping us. But that just tells me that I probably need to start spending more money this week, even if that means tapping into lower margin products. And then if we come over to the right side here, we can see that I have about 2,500 units bought this month with an ACOG of almost $29 and an ASP of almost 52. Now let's go ahead and move into our returns here. So what we have on this sheet is our margin and our profit decreasing. So our final profit now, instead of 19K, is about $16,500. And instead of a 15.5% margin, we are sitting at 13%. And in the net projection sheet now, we can see that we have spent $2,000 in total on overhead this month, which is now going to leave our final net numbers at about $14,444.73, which is the number you saw in the Google Doc. Same with the net margin. So overall, looking pretty good on the month. I think we should close out at a projected 20K for this month. Just got to make sure the spend stays heavy this week, which I've already been doing a good job at. All right, now let's get into our real net numbers for this week in Sellerboard. All right, so in Sellerboard, we can see this week we sold almost 45K worth of product, which is great. Refunds are also sitting a lot lower, and net profit is up at about $5,700. We also sold 811 units this week as well. So already, if you guys watched last week's video, you can tell we've made a huge improvement this week. If we look at our refund rate too, it is dropping. I think last week it was still 8%. Margin is also up at about 13% gross, so not bad, still a little low, but definitely better than last week. So let's go ahead and figure out my net profit after I pay my prep center for 811 sold units. All right, so after I pay my prep center $1.30 on average for those 811 sold units, our profit drops down to about $4,600. And to find our net number, we're going to take this total and subtract it from a week's worth of overhead. And we can see here that about 1 week worth of overhead is $678.30. So I'm going to go ahead and do this math and show you guys the net numbers. Okay, and after we get in all of our fees for the week, we're looking pretty much at $4,000 in profit for the week, which is really great. Now, the last thing we're going to do is figure out what our net margin on this week is, which I think is going to be a lot better than the prior weeks we've had. All right, and net margin for this week is looking at about 9%. So as you guys can see, if you watched any of the previous episodes, I was saying that, refunds were really high because of Q4 volume kind of spreading into January and not having as much inventory ready to sell. And surely enough, this is being proven right, because we can see as I've sent more stuff into FBA and gotten my inventory levels back to normal, margin is rising, profit is rising, and refund percentages are dropping. So overall, this is a great sign. Now I want to get into some of the stuff I was working on this week, what I was doing, and also some of the things I'm looking to do for next week. All right, so now I want to jump into things that I was working on this week. So for a couple of the days, I was actually not feeling the best. So my main focus this week was just trying to spend money and keep the ball rolling. One thing that I did change that is going to be a massive improvement, hopefully, is working with AI, specifically Claude Cowork. Me and my team right now are currently seeing if the AI can handle a lot of the admin stuff. So like any follow-ups, seeing if orders were canceled, shipped, really just trying to find an end result to anything that we buy throughout the week. So far, results have been okay. We've only played around with it for about 3 hours, only done 2 calls on it so far. So it's still very new for us. It is pretty slow right now, but something that will be a good tool to have just because I recently went through some news that I'm going to talk about here in a second. What I plan to use Claude for, though, is to find end statuses to all of our open orders, as well as managing some of our prep center portals. So logging inbound records into prep and then also auditing. So something we do right now just with my second admin is she'll go in and actually audit prep portals to see if there's stuff that's been sitting too many days or if we have something that's on inbound for way too long. It just helps us catch any discrepancies that somebody on either party is not catching. And I think with its capabilities of being able to pull information and read through different documents and that kind of thing, it should be able to do that. So this will definitely save a ton of time, and for 20 bucks you can't really beat it. And it's actually going to save me from having to look into hiring another staff member. And I'm going to talk about why I might have had to do that in our talking points for this week. So something that was kind of a struggle, not really a struggle, but just some news that I was not prepared for, was my second admin VA was basically saying that she needed to kind of cut hours a little bit moving forward, which I totally understand. Her reasons for needing to do so are completely valid. And I was just thinking in this time period of solutions and things that could actually fill that gap, because our hours are sort of being reduced from like 20 to 25 hours a week to about 10 to 15 hours a week. And I pay based on just task completion and overall just what the job entails, not necessarily hourly, but there obviously needs to be an idea of time input for each member. So our second admin has become more part-time, and with that, we needed obviously to fill this role somehow. And the last thing I want to do is hire right now, as I feel like me and the team are really strong. We all mesh very well. She's been great as well, and I want to be able to keep her on and just implement her with the time availability that she has. So this was a struggle just in the beginning because I didn't really know what to do. Obviously hiring takes a lot of resources and time more than the money itself. And being able to already find a little bit of solutions through AI has really been a relief. And something that I would say is a learning point here is that speed is really everything in business. Within 24 to 48 hours, I kind of already knew where I was going with the solution to this problem. And there's potentially a chance that if I didn't act so quickly on figuring out how we're going to get over this, even as unexpected as it was, there's a chance that, things down the line would have just ultimately fallen out of place. Maybe a bunch of our orders are now messed up because we just don't have the availability that we need to continuously update them. Maybe that employee just doesn't feel like she can handle the workload anymore. Maybe she feels like there is just something missing from the job at this point. And I think by attacking these problems quicker than letting them rest, it's going to be a lot better of a way to ultimately just keep the ball rolling in the right direction. Also, in the opposite light of that as well, if you think about how great speed can benefit a business, you should also think about how detrimental it can be if you don't move with speed, because in the opposite sense, if things aren't done and the longer they stay not done, there's going to be a lot of stuff that also piles up from things not getting completed, which can lead to even more problems than if you would have just solved the original one in the first place. And also a struggle that I had when figuring out, okay, I'm going to go the AI route, is that I don't actually own a MacBook or any sort of Mac computer, which for Claude, funnily enough, you actually need a Mac device. So that was also another problem I had to figure out, is how am I actually going to test this thing without spending $1,500-$1,600 on a new computer. And what I decided to do was, all my VAs actually have Macs. So these guys have better equipment than I do, funnily enough. But what I decided to do was, my head of operations, we decided that we're going to test this on live calls. So this past week, we've been taking calls past 2 days now and really just playing around with the software, like I was saying earlier. So I basically arbitraged the cost of a $1,500 MacBook and consolidated it into just $20 a month for the subscription service. And again, just figuring out ways ways to quickly attack problems and have them done efficiently, even if it's not a perfect solution today, it's going to be much better than sitting around and not getting anything done. So moving on to next week and things that I want to focus on during that time is really just going to be more experimentation with Claude and Cowork. It's still definitely in a testing phase, as I've stated that we haven't spent much time with it. It is advancing, but we still need to spend more time with it. So going to be doing more calls with my head of operations. And then I also plan, if I have any time, to make some manual sourcing videos for my sourcing VA. There's stuff that I want to continue going over and refining his skill sets. So I think it's a good thing if I get them up. It's definitely going to take some time, but manual sourcing in my, lens is kind of just a knowledge transfer. So it's more so you just giving everything that you know about how to coupon XYZ site or when to look at it, giving it to your VA so that they can then implement those same processes into their day-to-day work. The way I plan to make this is just Loom. So literally just going over and talking about like the specific times to hit the sale, whatever works on there, just that kind of thing. He also performed training this past week on reading velocity and determining how much he would buy. So we've been training that sort of like in-depth lesson as well. So I think with both of these in combination, it's going to make him a lot better as a sourcer overall, as opposed to him just being able to reverse source and do sort of like the basics. Because again, his role in the future is going to be sort of head of operations in our sourcing department. So these are things that if I am currently doing and determining with how I make decisions, he needs to also learn this stuff. And sort of an unpopular opinion I feel like I have is that VAs can learn stuff really quick. The way we like to train personally is I will introduce a lesson and we will work at it for pretty much a week. And then after that, they are free to start actually implementing this stuff. I've just always been a better learner when I can do hands-on experimentation, make mistakes, get better that way. And I think that's pretty much what's led me to be able to have such a great team with my team that I currently have. So as we just move into the coming weeks, it's literally just going to be teaching the basics and then being prepared to fail and try again, fail and try again. And then specifically what I'm going to do when trying to test out Claude this next coming week is I'm going to start testing different scripts. We were already doing that a little bit this week, but more so following specific guidelines and unspecific guidelines. So seeing if the AI itself can actually figure out how to find things on its own versus me having to directly tell it, hey, look for order number XYZ with status XYZ. So that's pretty much everything that I think I'm going to focus on for this coming week. And then finally, just to wrap it up, obviously pushing for the last bit of spend I need. As of today in my inventory tracker, we're looking at about 85K in spend. So we still have, from the time of recording this, about 9 days worth of product left to buy. So it is very possible that we do crack 120K spend this month. Just got to keep pushing for it in the mix of also trying to get these new systems and, calls up and running. But yeah, I think that's going to be everything for this week's episode. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I will catch you guys in episode 5. So peace out.